Alright, hi YouTube, and welcome to another Matthew's Modelling. This time we're looking at the Matchbox Shunter. Now, progress has been pretty quick with this, unexpectedly, and if you can remember from the Hornby Sentinel video, I said towards the end that I had a livery planned for the Sentinel, and that to keep an ear out for more on that livery and more to the story of that yellow paint. Well, this is the sequel to that story. Now, with this Matchbox Shunter, I had a livery in mind. I wanted this to be all over black, red beams, and I was going to add a nice little BR logo to it. But when stripping it and taking it apart, the bodywork wasn't the best. You know, it had a lot of chips in it and things like that, which was fine. That's how I like things, you know, and that's why I bought it, and that's probably why it was 99p. But that was fine, you know, that's how I like to do my projects. But I did want a nice black finish with this, so I wasn't going to get that, you know, that look I was after. So I thought, right, not to worry, I'll keep it yellow, and I'll go over it with this the famous yellow Carplan paint that I just mentioned. Well, I suppose I'll show you and then we'll talk about it. Here is the Matchbox Shunter. Now, to be honest with you, I'm really happy with how it's looking, but if you look closely, if you look across the top there, the paintwork has bubbled, as it did on that one side of the Hornby Sentinel. Now, this body reacted 10 times worse than what the Sentinel did, but this body, it's die cast, it's metal, so I wasn't expecting the same reaction, and which has also got me thinking that it's the paint that was the problem. But when I sprayed this with the yellow, it's obviously got into the areas where the original paint has chipped, and it just attacked it, and I mean it attacked it. As you can see, the bubble in there in front of the horn is quite extreme, and that happened on the sides as well. So I was a little bit gutted. You know, that's not what I wanted to happen, but it had happened, so rather than just sack it off and scrap it, I carried on. So all I've done is in those areas where it's bubbled, and again it was where the paint had chipped, I've just gone over it with the Woodland Scenic Rusty Rail pen, and I've just rusted those areas. It's all blended in really nice. I've added a dark wash in between it as well. It isn't actually coming out on camera as well as it does look, but I've added the rust, you know, in the patches where it's bubbled and where the paint was chipped. Like I said, it's had a load of black washes, quite a few. We've gone around the exhaust port on the top, we've gone on the radiator at the front. I've also picked out the headlights there in silver. The front, if you remember, I said it had raised metalwork for the buffer beams, which made them really easy to paint. So I've gone over the wasp stripes in black, and then if I just pick it up, tilt it, you can see that the chassis got all painted black and has also been weathered with the Woodland Scenic Rusty Rail. So it's all heavily weathered, all heavily rusted. If we turn it around and show you to the side, so the same happened on this side pretty much. I haven't rusted this one as much as I did the other side. It didn't bubble quite as aggressively as the other side did. But I've done the same things, heavy washes, picked out the black stripes, and you know, the black chassis. So Once I'd done all that, obviously going over the yellow paint, I lost the red nameplate that was there just above those grills. So it's lost the red and it's now in all over yellow. I didn't quite have the space to add a VR transfer, and I then decided to add this National Cobord livery. I've seen this done a lot, where they've just, they've hand painted their brand on, loco numbers and things like that. So this is just hand painted on, as they used to do. Chaps come along and made it his own for the company. So it's just hand painted NCB number 1. And as I said with the Sentinel update, I think I'm going to do something similar with that. Probably the same, I'll just put NCB on it, hand painted like that, and maybe number 2, I don't know. But pretty much the same anyway. One thing I haven't actually done is add glazing. I didn't think the project would go this far, but as I say, I'm quite happy with how it's unusually turned out. But I have actually glued the chassis to the die-cast body now, so to add glazing I'm going to have to try and prise that off. But it's not impossible, can be done. You can see the original red chassis there, so that's super glued now up to the die-cast body, ready for me to mount the motor in there. That chassis, I've just done my usual technique with that I like to do, is I've melted a hole in the bottom. I just heat up a screwdriver and I cut a shape out underneath for me to mount the chassis into, and then I'll just add some kind of mounting block up inside the body to fit the motor. So that's where we're at with this. So again, as with the Sentinel, let me know what you think about this paint. As I say, it's not come out as well as I'd have hoped, but I still like it. I think with a little bit more work on the body, I'm planning some more dark washes over them rust patches. I think it's going to look quite good, this, going up and down the track with a little wagon or two. Yeah. I've also got a nice handy gap as well in the front for a tension lock coupling. So yeah, let me know what you think. Next time you see it, this one should, I would imagine, be finished. Maybe with glazing or maybe without, but regardless, it'll be finished. Just needs a bit of work, and then the motor adding. So yeah, there we go, update on the Matchbox Shunter. So let me know what you think, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.